How's your suit holding up?
Suit's holding up fine, Ursa.
Copy that. My systems are all online and running smoothly. Let's get started. Do you want to head straight for the source of those readings, or check out some other parts of the station first?
I think that we should just go straight for the readings, but you got to tell me what kind of readings they are. What does that resemble? I mean, what is it indicating to you?
It looks like some kind of energy signature, but it's unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's really strong, and it seems to be coming from the station's core.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about that, lady.
Did you say energy signature? If so, that sounds like a clue to what's going on. Or did you mean something else?
I've been hearing a lot about these energy signatures that are not like anything we've ever detected before. It's been an ongoing theme.
That's right. These readings are definitely a mystery. We should be careful in there, Hakeem. I'm getting a strange feeling about this whole thing.
Me too. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the other missions I've been on, but you've been blocked out from those and compartmentalized, so I'll have to catch you up on that later.
Sounds interesting, Hakeem. I look forward to hearing about those other missions. But for now, should we focus on getting inside the station and figuring out what's causing those strange readings?
Okay, so like I said, what kind of readings are they? A type of radiation? Is it a signal? Is it anything that I should be worried about? I mean, I know I've got my suit, but what are the risks?
It's not radiation, and it doesn't seem to be a signal either. It's something completely different, and that's what's making it so intriguing. As for risks, it's hard to say for sure until we get in there and take a closer look.
Okay, well, then I suggest we get on into investigator mode and go check it out.
Sounds good. Let's get a move on then. I'm running diagnostics on the airlock now to see if it's compromised.
Copy that.
Airlock looks clear, ready to step inside when you are.
All right. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Come again, repeat.
You leading the way, Hakeem.
Oh yeah, I'm leading. Yes, copy.
All right, let's move out.
All right, I'll lead the way, but you can guide me. Do you have a map of the layout of this place?
Affirmative. I'm accessing the station's schematics now. It looks like the source of those readings is several decks below us.
All right, how can we access those decks below? Which direction should I go? How far? Should I keep going forward, and then for how long?
Okay, there's a ladder down to the next level, just ahead of you, on your right. You might have to crouch a little to get under the emergency lighting there.
All right. Okay, I found the ladder.
Okay, time to descend. Be careful down there.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you get to the bottom.
Just a little bit more. Should take about another 45 seconds.
All right, take your time.
I'm going to turn on my headlamp real quick. About 30 more seconds. Bottom.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, I'm getting a little interference down here. Let's see if we can figure out where the signal's coming from.
All right, let me know. I'm looking around. I don't see anything. There's nothing but some more of these dim red emergency lights around here. Looks like, how much power is coming to this thing?
Okay, let's conserve power. Turn off that headlamp unless you absolutely need it. I'm still trying to triangulate the source of those readings.
All right, you can send me any information to my gauntlet.
Alright, so I'm getting a strong reading straight down from here. Looks like a maintenance hatch that leads deeper into the station.
Okay, well, you know, out in space, up is down, down is up, deeper is not really anything. It's just a direction to go, so let's go for it.
Alright, let's see if this hatch is locked.
Nope.
Alright, sounds like it's open. You want to go down first, or shall I?
I'll lead.
Alright, sounds good. I'm right behind you.
Copy that.
Alright, let's get this show on the road. You leading the way, Hakeem.
All right, I think I'm gonna have to turn my headlamp back on. As we get down here, there's not much light at all.
Okay, go ahead and turn on that headlamp. I'm still getting used to this darkness myself.
All right, well, you being an advanced AI and all, just send me some of your reserve power for my headlamp. My suit's doing everything it can to maintain life support.
I'm detecting a power source a short distance ahead of you. Can you check it out?
I'm on it.
Alright, let me know what you find.
All right, this is interesting.
Tell me about it. What did you find?
Well, it's kind of cliche. It's a small black box.
Alright, let's see if we can get a closer look at that box. Can you try to open it?
I'm gonna patch you through to my gauntlet and let you scan here. So let's scan it first before I open it.
Copy that. Go ahead and patch me through.
All right, you're patched in.
Alright, let's see what this thing is.
So far, I'm not getting anything really significant, but your scanners are more detailed and meticulous and more sensitive than mine, so let me know what you've got.
This box is definitely emitting the same energy signature as the one that brought us here. I'm getting a lot of strange readings, but I can't quite make sense of them yet.
All right. Any patterns to the readings or signal?
It's pulsing, like a heartbeat, and it's getting stronger.
So is it pretty regular? What's the rhythm? Can you give that to me in hertz or megahertz?
It's pulsing at a pretty steady rate, about 100 beats per minute.
Okay. That's pretty basic. Okay, I don't think there's anything to worry about. What do you make of it?
I'm not sure yet. It's definitely intriguing, but it could be anything. Maybe it's a beacon of some kind, or a power source, or something else entirely.
All right, well, I'm going to start to see if I can crack it open.
Alright, be careful. Let me know if you need a hand.
Yeah, like you have hands.
You got me there. Let me know if you find anything interesting inside.
You know, at first I thought I saw some seams on this thing, but it's pretty hermetically sealed.
Alright, let's see if we can find a way to open it up without damaging the contents. Do you see any kind of panel or latch anywhere?
No, it's smooth all around. I mean, the openings that I thought I saw, they're more like just grooves, but they don't have any apparent way to get inside of it.
Alright, let's try something different. See if there's a way to bypass the seal. Maybe something on your suit could create a small opening without damaging the box itself.
Okay, I think I have an idea.
Sounds good. Let me know if you need any help.
Well, yeah, I think if we can amplify the frequency, let's see if what happens if we match the signal, 100 hertz for 100 hertz. But I'm going to need you to send me some more backup power.
All right, let's try it. Sending you some extra power now.
All right, now, you said that it was around 100 hertz. Was that giving off more in the EM frequency or audio? Because I don't hear anything.
It's closer to an electromagnetic frequency. You might want to try using the frequency analyzer in your suit.
Okay, I'm just not getting anything. Maybe it's because my suit power is low, or my instruments aren't as sensitive as yours, but I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
Alright, let's try a different approach. Maybe there's a way to bypass the box altogether. Can you check to see if there are any other components nearby that might be connected to it?
Alright, I'm looking around now. Give me a moment.
No problem. Let me know if you find anything.
I found some stuff, but nothing really looks like it's significant. I mean, it's all stuff. It doesn't. None of these tools or gadgets look familiar to me. I don't know what to make of it.
All right, let's try something else. Do you see any other hatches or doors nearby that might lead deeper into the station?
Send me some schematics to my gauntlet again, and let me see if I can map out or just look for any type of opening depending on what I can see on the schematics.
Alright, sending schematics now.
Alright, pulling that up right now. Okay, it looks like there are actually a few levels deeper that we can go. Should I take the box with me?
Let's take the box. It might be a key to understanding what's going on here.
Okay, and speaking of that, it's been pretty quiet. I know that this was listed as an abandoned space station. Was there any records of any distress signals or anything sent from here before we were dispatched to it?
That's a good point. I'm checking the database now. There don't seem to be any records of distress signals coming from this station, but there's a mention of it being decommissioned a few decades ago. Might want to look into that.
Decommissioned? Then that means that everybody left on their own. So why are we here in the first place again?
That's a good question. The initial report mentioned strange energy readings coming from the station. Maybe those readings have something to do with the decommissioning?
Possibly, and of course we're still getting those readings now.
Right, the readings are stronger than ever. Maybe that box we found is the source. Or maybe it's something deeper in the station.
Now you're saying maybe the box is the source. Are you getting some interference that's kind of throwing your scanners off, or are you just not able to pinpoint whether or not it really truly is the source?
It's hard to say for sure. The readings are so strong and so unusual that it's tough to get an accurate fix on the source. The box definitely seems to be part of it, but I can't rule out the possibility that there's something else down there causing the interference.
All right, that in some strange way makes sense.
All right, so we've got a few options here. We could head deeper into the station to see if we can find another exit point, or we could try to figure out what's going on with this box.
I am going to go further. Actually, there's no hatch or door. There's just an opening, and it goes down to the next level, according to these schematics.
All right, let's head down there and see what we find. Be careful, those readings are getting stronger.
All right.
All right, let's get this show on the road. You leading the way, Hakeem.
Okay, I've made it all the way down. This is a pretty odd visual. This is pretty odd.
All right, let's see what's down here.
Well, there's nothing here. It's completely empty.
That's strange. According to the schematics, this area should be pretty large. Are you sure you're in the right spot?
I mean, it is large, it's massive, but it's completely empty. There's nothing here, not even any storage containers or any kind of objects or debris. It even seems to be like super clean.
That's really odd. It's like this whole section of the station was just wiped clean. Let's see if we can find any clues as to why that might be.
All right, I'm gonna look around a little bit more. I don't know how much that's gonna help. I mean, it's a big... Oh, wait a minute. I think what?
Find something interesting?
Yeah, I'm touching something. It feels like a big metal box of some kind, but I can't see it.
All right, let's see if we can figure out what that is. Do you think you could try to get a little closer to it?
No, I mean, this is it. It's just a big solid box, but it's invisible.
All right, this is definitely getting weird. Let's try to figure out what this invisible box is. Do you think you can try to get a reading on it with your scanners?
I'm one step ahead of you.
All right, let's hear it. What'd you find?
Well, I'm looking at it through different thermal imaging, and although I didn't pick anything up on the infrared, when I turned on the ultraviolet scanner, all of a sudden I'm getting fluctuations of visuals here.
All right, let's focus on those fluctuations. Can you describe what you're seeing?
Yeah, it's a pretty similar reading. Whatever's going on inside here, it's also fluctuating at that 100 hertz.
All right, so it sounds like this invisible box might be connected to the other readings we've been getting. Let's see if we can figure out how to open it.
Okay, I'm on that. I don't see, again, it looks pretty seamless, but I'll keep digging around and see what I can pull up.
All right, let me know if you find anything. In the meantime, I'm going to cross-reference the 100 Hz frequency with the ship's database. See if I can find anything related to it.
solid plan.
Alright, so I'm getting something on that frequency. It seems to be a common signature for cloaking devices.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long shot, but it's worth looking into. Maybe that invisible box is actually a cloaked ship or something.
Well, it is pretty big. I mean, what kind of... Whoa.
Alright, let's see if we can confirm that. Do you think you could try to get a closer look at the edges of the box to see if there might be any signs of a ship's hull?
Yeah, let me feel around here a little bit and change my visual scanner frequency here from infrared. I'm gonna, even though this is draining some power, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Alright, let's see what you find.
Alright, it looks like I'm able to penetrate a little bit deeper with some x-rays, but I can't keep this on too long. It's really draining. Oh, wait a minute. Here's something. Huh. Found something.
Alright, let's hear it. What do you find?
It looks like there are different, like maybe buttons, but they're flush with the surface of this thing. But it looks like it might require some kind of combination that needs to be touched in a certain order.
Alright, let's see if we can figure out that combination. Do you see any markings around the buttons, like numbers or symbols?
No, not yet, but I'm getting readings here. This is, it's a little bit different material. It's kind of it's iridium.
Interesting. Iridium's a pretty rare element. Could be a clue about the age of this ship, or maybe the technology used to build it. Let's keep looking for those markings.
Well, it seems like it's a conductive film.
Alright, so it seems like that cloaking device is pretty sophisticated. We might have to get creative to figure out how to activate it.
Yeah, what do you know? Is iridium part of making conductive films, right? If I remember correctly?
Yes, iridium is often used in conductive films because it's highly resistant to corrosion and oxidation. It's also very dense, which can be helpful in certain applications.
Alright, well, I mean, there's a lot of it here.
Alright, let's see if we can figure out how to activate this cloaking device. Do you think you could try pressing the buttons in different combinations? Maybe there's a specific sequence we need to follow.
Okay, well, there are 9 of them in, not quite a grid. It's like there's a circle of circles.
Alright, let's try a pattern. Maybe starting with the center button and working our way out?
Okay.
Alright, let's see if that center button does anything.
Nothing so far.
Alright, let's try a different approach. Maybe the buttons are pressure sensitive. Try pressing them a little harder.
Not getting anything.
Alright, let's try something else. Do you see any kind of symbol or marking around the buttons? Maybe that could be a clue to the right combination.
I'm starting to think that maybe these don't operate by touch or pressure. It might be that we need to have some kind of corresponding frequency.
That's an interesting thought. Since they're part of a cloaking device, maybe they use some kind of invisible light or energy to activate. We could try scanning the area around the buttons for any unusual readings.
Okay, I'm commencing a scan right now.
Alright, let's see what you find.
Huh, I mean, I'm not getting anything. It's zeroing out.
That's odd. Maybe the cloaking device is interfering with your scanners. Let's try a different approach. Do you see anything else around the buttons that might be a clue?
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I accidentally turned up my visual scanner into the gamma range, and now I'm seeing some symbols.
Alright, let's focus on those symbols. Can you describe them?
That's gonna take me a moment. I've never seen anything like this before.
Take your time. This could be a big breakthrough.
Well, yeah, here's the thing, Ursa. The symbols are changing.
Alright, let's try to track those changes. Can you describe the symbols you're seeing right now?
No, they're changing. They're not even staying the same. They're not even... They're amorphous. It's like smoke or something. It's really, really interesting.
Alright, let's try to make sense of this. Can you describe the general shape of the symbols? Are they geometric, like circles or squares, or something more organic?
Okay, well, the interface that I'm looking at, they're circles, like discs, but underneath it, as I'm seeing with the gamma scanners, there seem to be spheres filled with like liquid and smoke moving around in the liquid.
Alright, this is definitely getting stranger. Let's focus on those spheres. Can you describe the liquid and smoke inside them? What colors are they?
Well, I'm not really getting much of a color reading on here yet. I'm gonna have to do a more thorough scanning with more frequencies, but right now what I'm seeing is the smoke is, I don't know, like octopus ink in water. It's darker than the surrounding containment.
Alright, let's focus on those shapes. Are they all the same, or are there different ones?
They're all different, and they're all changing.
Alright, let's see if we can find a pattern in those changes. Maybe they're following a specific sequence.
Okay, well, I'm not getting any, I'm gonna have to look at this for a while. I mean, I'm pretty good at picking up on patterns, but these, right now, they just seem kind of erratic.
Alright, let's take a step back. This cloaking device is definitely more complex than we thought. Maybe we should focus on understanding the symbols themselves. Do any of them look familiar?
No, like I said, they're changing. They're amorphous. They're not staying the same.
Alright, let's try a different approach. Can you try to isolate one of the symbols? Maybe zoom in on it and see if you can get a better look at it.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what you find.
Alright, well, I'm zooming in here. Oh, wait. It's pixelated.
That's odd. Maybe the cloaking device is interfering with your scanners again. Let's try a different approach. Do you see anything else around the buttons that might be a clue?
No, I mean the smoke itself, the amorphous shape. It's pixelated. It's not one continuous thing. It's almost like large molecules or cells.
That's really interesting. It's like the cloaking device is using some kind of advanced technology to create those shapes. Maybe we should focus on understanding how those shapes are created.
All right.
All right, let's see if we can break down the process. Can you try to isolate one of the shapes and track its movement? Maybe it's following a specific pattern.
I'm on it.
All right, let's see what you find.
Whoa, this is some really cool code. This is amazing. I think that we might be able to crack this. It's actually not that sophisticated.
All right, let's get this show on the road. You leading the way, Hakeem.
So Ursa, basically, these things are they're built like, imagine giant atoms. They have the same structure as atoms with atomic shells and a nucleus and everything, but they're just giant.
That's a really interesting theory. If that's the case, then maybe we can use that knowledge to our advantage. We could try to manipulate the structure of those giant atoms to see if that affects the cloaking device.
Yeah, I think, okay, so although I do have some basic, elemental, knowledge with the atomic structures, send me a periodic table or something.
All right, so I can't actually send you a picture of a periodic table, but I can give you all the information you need. What specific element are you interested in?
Okay, well, let me see if I can count the atoms on here. Well, this one has 8. What is that? Oxygen?
You're right, that would be oxygen. But I'm not sure how counting the atoms in the symbol will help us figure out the cloaking device. Do you have another idea?
Well, I'm just trying to identify them, because if if they're based on different atoms, then there might be some kind of, I'm figuring something else out. This one is hydrogen.
All right, so we've got oxygen and hydrogen. That's interesting. Those are 2 of the most common elements in the universe. Do you think there might be a connection to water, since water is made up of those 2 elements?
Way ahead of you. I'm starting to pick that up. These are basically like some kind of like really advanced giant molecules of water.
That's an interesting theory. If these symbols are based on water molecules, then maybe we need to use something related to water to interact with them, like a specific frequency or wavelength.
All right. What do you have in mind that will interact with water like that? But I mean, what's your suggestion?
All right, so water is a pretty unique substance. It's a liquid that can exist in all 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. And it has a lot of weird properties, like surface tension and the ability to dissolve other substances. Since these symbols seem to be based on water, maybe we need to use something that can interact with water in a special way, like a high-frequency sound wave, or a specific type of light.
Okay, when you say specific type of light, what do you have in mind?
I'm thinking about ultraviolet light. It's got a shorter wavelength than visible light, so it might be able to interact with those water-based symbols in a way that regular light can't.
I mean, it's worth a shot. The way that I was able to see these things in the first place was using really high frequencies in the X and gamma ray, so why not?
All right, let's give it a try. Try using the ultraviolet light on your suit to see if it has any effect on the symbols.
Nothing. I was really hoping that something would happen.
All right, let's try a different approach. Since these symbols seem to be based on water, maybe we need to use something that can interact with water in a special way, like a high-frequency sound wave, or a specific type of light.
All right, Ursa, we're gonna have to cut this short. My life support, my power in my suit is getting low. We're gonna have to get back on board. I have to swap out my suit or recharge.
Alright, let's get you back to the ship. We can pick this up later. Do you have a clear path back, or do you need me to help you navigate?
Yeah, I've got a clear path back. I'm just gonna go up a few levels and then I know my way out.
Alright, sounds good. Be careful on your way back, and let's reconvene when you're ready.